comments section as well. Before we get started, let me remind you about a new campaign that we have here at ABBA called ABBA Moment. We've created this hashtag for you to share when you take time during your day to learn English. So please share on Twitter, on Facebook, use this hashtag. We'd love to see a picture of you or text explaining when is your ABBA moment. When do you take time to learn English? Is it on the metro? Is it on the way to work, at home, at night? Next time, we'd like to share some of our favorite ABBA moments in the class. So please participate, and we'd love to hear from you. Okay, so our topic today is crunching the numbers. But do you know what it means to crunch numbers? Let's see. To crunch the numbers, or to crunch numbers, means to do a lot of math or calculations to figure out the answer to a question. So for example, if you want to buy a new car, you may need to crunch the numbers to see if you can afford it, if you have enough money to buy the car. All right, talking about numbers, let's look at some different symbols that we use to represent numbers. Okay, this symbol is called the pound sign, but it's also used to represent a number and nowadays a hashtag. But this short symbol can be used to represent numbers, and this N-O is also a shorter way to write the word number. Okay? Did you know that the number 0 has many different names? You can also call it not, nil, zip, and zilch. So 0 has many different ways. There's many different ways to say the number 0. Okay, let's start with the most basic numbers. These are your cardinal numbers. These are the regular numbers that you see every day, numbers that express an amount. For example, 1, 2, 3, all the way to infinity. These numbers are called cardinal numbers. Talking about cardinal numbers, let's look at some of the big numbers, how we pronounce them, and how they're written. Okay? This number here, 1,000, so a 1 followed by 3 zeros, is 1,000, or we can also say 1,000. Note that the 1,000 in English is represented with a comma, not a decimal point. Okay? This is different. So let's look at the second example. This, a 10 followed by 3 zeros, is 10,000. 100 followed by 3 zeros is 100,000. And a 1 followed by 6 zeros is 1 million, or as we've seen before, you can also say a million. Okay? And a 1 followed by 9 zeros is 1 billion, or a billion. This is a very big number you probably won't use very much, but it's good to know what to call it in English. Okay? Now let's talk about ordinal numbers. When you want to talk about the order of something or a date, we use ordinal numbers. So, how do we form ordinal numbers? With the number 1, you add an ST first. With the number 2, you add an ND second. And with the number 3, you add an RD third. These are different because with the rest of the numbers, 4, 5, 6, 7, etc., you add a TH. So for example, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, note the TH sound. Practice saying that to yourself if you're watching, okay? There are a few spelling exceptions with ordinal numbers. For example, 12 changes, the V changes to LFTH, 12th. And with 20, 20th, the Y changes to IETH. So make a note of these spelling changes with ordinal numbers. What about decimals? A decimal we also call a point. So let's look at a few examples. Here, this number, we would say 2.53, okay? But if we're talking about currency, about euros or dollars or pounds, then we say it a little bit differently. In this example, we have a dollar sign with 2.53. So we can either say 2.53, we can say $2.53, or we can say $2.53. Note that in English, the decimal point for dollar amounts, euro amounts, is expressed with a point, not a comma. So this is different between some languages, okay? So with thousands, we use a comma, and with decimals, we use this point, okay? What about fractions? Fractions are parts of a whole. So for example, here, 1/10, 1/10, we would say 1/10 or a tenth. So the second number here is an ordinal number. So we take the number 10, we make it tenth with th, 1/10. Okay? Look at the second example. 2/3 is 2/3. And 1/2 is 1/2. So it's 1/2 of the whole. Okay, what about percentages? We use percentages, we express them with this symbol. This is a percent sign. So a percent is a rate or proportion per 100. So for example, this number here is 50%. So that represents half, 50% of 100. Okay? What about how we say years? What if you're talking about your birth date or a specific year? In English, we wouldn't say for this number 1986. No. First you say the first two numbers, 19, and then the year, 86. Okay, so we split it down the middle as you get up to 2000. Okay? With 2000, we can say, in this example, two different ways, either 2010 or 2010. Both are correct, so just choose whichever is more comfortable for you. Okay? What about how to give someone your phone number? I've used an example from the United States. Here, the first 3 digits are what we call the area code. This shows what area, what region you live in. Then it's followed by 3 numbers and then 4 numbers. So when you read out your number, you read it in these groups, 3, 3, and 4. So with the last 4 digits, you can either read them one by one, 2, 8, 6, 7, or you can say 2867. Either way is correct. Okay, so the full number would be 817-555-2867 or 2867. Okay? Let's see if you've understood everything that we've just learned. First, I want to know, tell me in the comments which numbers are more difficult for you in English. Whether it's pronunciation or how to say them, what numbers do you have trouble with? And now, I have 3 questions I want you to answer in the comments. If you don't see all of the questions, we're going to post them at the top of the page so that you can read the questions and answer them in the comments, okay? Question number 1. How do you write this number? This number right here. How do you write it out? There are multiple ways, so there's more than one correct answer. How do you write this number? Number 2, how do you write this number? What is this?